Welcome to Off the Clock. I'm your host, Sierra Jones. Today we have something a little bit special for you. So we are here at VSI Unlimited, the home of the War Dawgs training. So we have the CEO and also the Vice President of War Dawgs. Will you guys do us a favor and introduce yourself?
My name is Timothy Jones. I'm the owner and founder of the North Alabama War Dogs.
I'm Sean Heileman. I'm the Vice President of Operations, North Alabama War Dogs.
Thank you again for being with us here today. So before we talk about the War Dawgs, I want to get to know a little bit about you guys. So Coach Ware, and I keep saying Coach, I'm sorry, but you just tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you from Huntsville?
No, I'm actually from Gaston, Alabama. Raised there, born in Tampa, Florida, but retired Navy. I did 20 years in the U.S. Navy.
Okay, thank you for your service. Why are you shaking your head?
Oh, well, we can't compete with them.
Oh.
The Navy's the Navy. I have nothing for them.
Tell us about yourself, Sean. Where are you from?
Originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I went to one of the best high schools in the country, Destrehan High School, produced the only two NFL Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, Ed Reed and Justin Jefferson.
Wow.
So we're the only high school in the country to ever do that. There's only 4 colleges that also did it. So
wow.
Pretty proud of that. Went to Tulane University, participated in games with the United States Marine Corps as a young Marine, and switched over to the Army, Special Operations, Aviation, and then eventually flying Apaches.
Wow. Both of you, again, thank you for your service.
Yeah, can't compete with those Navy guys.
Yeah, I understand. Well, look, both of you guys have a very broad background. What did you always love basketball? What made you want to be in this role of being an owner of a franchise?
I always had the love for the game, and I played in high school. Then when I went into the military, I played a lot when I was in the United States Navy. Got a chance to play against a lot of semi-pro teams while I was in. And after I came back, I worked for Northrop Grumman. I had a little injury, so I got an opportunity to reserve the market here. And ever since then, just been on the grind to get this program up and running here in Huntsville.
What about you? What made you want to be a part of a franchise like this?
I was walking around one day, I was watching basketball in the gym, and I saw this team doing okay.
Okay.
And I said, wow, second half they were destroying the team. And I said, this guy might need some help, doing some other things. So I said, hey, Tim, I heard you're the owner of this team. I'm big in my community. I love my community. I've owned several companies here and grew several companies. So it looks like a great opportunity. And I'd love to help out where I can. And literally, that's how we started.
That is really, really cool. So those watching right now may have never heard of the War Dawgs before. Can you explain what level it is and just talk a little bit more about that?
So North Alabama War Dogs are part of the ABA. It's the American Basketball Association. There's over 140 teams across the United States. This is considered minor league basketball, almost equivalent to like the trash band of AA baseball. So most of these guys trying to need a platform to leap to go overseas or to the NBA G League, and their ultimate dream is to the NBA.
Right.
So it's just a great platform for most of these athletes.
And how long? Because War Dawgs has been here for a little while, right?
Yeah, we're going into our 6th season. It's been an uphill battle, but we're still here. We're looking for the support of the community to come out and be a part of this great franchise.
Yeah. So tell us, what have you learned, or what's been challenges from the first season to now going to your 6th season?
It's always, just getting the community support. That's usually number one, those fans in the seats and everything like that. From the basketball standpoint, I think we've had pretty much all of the hoop stars of Huntsville a part of this team over the last 5 years going to the 6th season. This year, we're going to have our youngest team I ever had. I think the average age is like 24.
Okay.
So, it's pretty exciting, going from that to now we're going young where we always wanted to be.
Yeah.
So we got guys that actually want to go to the next level. And I think we might get 1 or 2 make it there. So
yeah, that's awesome. Do you have anything to add about how it's been towards the?
Yeah, I can tell that the community is embracing sports. We know that.
Yeah.
This is different from the others. It's different in many ways. One of the main ways it's different is because it's grassroots. It's homegrown. We don't have billionaires and millionaires tossing money into the War Dogs yet. But we anticipate that's going to change as we continue to grow and teach and help educate not only our basketball players, but our dancers on the philosophy of being a business. They are a walking business. They just don't realize it.
Yeah.
And if we can educate them on the power that they have internally and how that can exemplify what Huntsville's about, growing new and young individuals who can take over and grow their own enterprises, they're going to be able to uplift themselves. And the community will find them to be a magnet and grow with them. So that's what I'm looking for. The challenge has been the consistent challenge of having the community embrace change, particularly change in basketball, since there were other teams that were here
Yeah.
that did not actually stand the test of time. The War Dogs is the only pro basketball team in the area that has lasted this long.
You must have been reading my mind because that was going to be my next question. Because being here in Huntsville, I have seen some semi-pro teams make it and then you don't hear about them anymore. So what do you think has been you guys' success of being lasting as long as you have?
Oh man, I think sticking, for me, sticking to my game plan of helping the athletes. Everybody got their ways of running, their business,
Yeah.
or even, a lot of times athletes asking for a lot of things, which a lot of times certain programs just don't have the financial backing or
That's true.
the stability to for long term um, stability for their team. So I think just sticking to my game plan now, I have people like Mr. Sean right here, Coach Carey, and a few other people, a few other sponsors now that where now we might be able to take it to another level.
Yeah, I think you got a good point.
Yeah, so sometimes some of these teams start off so fast that hey, the next thing you know they run out of money.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So sometimes you got to start off slow and then just build up.
And
So
work your way up there. Well, I think it's a testament to what you guys have done. I know you probably don't hear that enough, but your work is appreciated and we see it in the community. I know you both have talked about the community, so let's talk about it. So how first can the community help the War Dogs?
From my position, it's come on out and support us. Go and visit us when we have events. For instance, when we have a nothing but networking event with one of our partners or more, or you see us in the community, or you see the athletes and dancers in the community issuing flyers or cards.
Yeah.
It's a grassroots approach. It's going to require everybody to jump in, including the Boys and Girls Clubs, the rec centers, the school systems. If everyone wants to see great basketball and give individuals an opportunity to grow, that's what it's going to take. We have to get their participation.
Yeah, that's really, really good. You have anything to add to that?
and like we always tell the athletes that they'll say we would like to be here for another 5 years. For another generation of kids to come through here and be War Dogs.
Yeah.
I have a couple players that on our team right now, like 3-4 years ago that I went to see them play in another league.
Yeah.
Now they on this team because they were following us, and I like to keep that trend going. But the only way that we can keep it going is the community come out and support us, and they'll say, hey, we need people in the seats.
Yeah. And those watching, you guys are gonna meet some of the players from the War Dogs in a minute. But go back to, and I know we're talking about with the players about the season, but those who are watching right now, will you kind of talk about when the games are? What does that look like? Are they during the week?
Yeah, so most of our games are on Saturdays. It's November through February is our season. Um, and just so you can go to our website, wardawgsbasketball.com to see the schedule.
Yeah. And before we bring the players out, will you tell us what is the process like to get these guys on your team, be on the War Dogs?
Depends. It's going to
Okay.
get tougher every time because there are times like when you have a traditional tryout and you invite people, we scope out certain athletes that we target. Sometimes they want to be a part of us, sometimes they do not. So we make sure we give everyone a fair opportunity to come on in and apply to be a War Dog, try out, and then there'll be certain cases where we're in a period of time, either in a season or looking for a very specific replacement athlete, and we'll have a very private opportunity for them to showcase who they are, what they can do to fill that role. And that's typical throughout all sports. You're going to have some role players that will come in. So Yeah, we advise anyone who's truly a professional, we say it all the time, be a pro all day, every
Mm,
day, doing what you do. Like I said, it's their opportunity. They have to figure out how to develop their time, and we call
mm-hmm.
it mastering your 168.
Mm,
They master their 168 hours a week
yeah,
and put it
yeah.
into and put themselves in position. They should do very, very well with all the different sponsors and partners we have, like the Covery and Carrabba's and Alchemist X, our nutrition
Mm-hmm.
company, and obviously VSI training.
Mm-hmm.
If they take and apply all that information and all those perks, they could really develop themselves.
That's really good. And like you said, it's more than just on the court, it's off the court. And what you said about branding, how they act or what they're wearing, War Dogs, they're representing a lot. You mentioned that this team is one of your youngest teams that you had. So are most of the players, they just graduated from college, they JUCO? What does that look like?
Yeah, that's it. Most of our guys, I think, um, and anywhere from D1 to JUCO.
Okay.
We do have a couple of guys that didn't go to college that they just had the skill sets enough to make the team.
Mm-hmm.
So during trials, we look for the best, during trials.
Yeah.
So one thing that we always say, hey, we don't do boring.
You do
War
not do boring.
Dogs, we don't do boring. They'll say no matter what we do. They'll say if it's at the game, if
Mm-hmm.
it's at nothing but networking event.
Yeah.
We always try to. It's all about entertainment.
Yeah.
We've taken our athletes and we've had a fight night, right? Fight night we did to watch a professional fight
Yeah.
and enjoy a good evening in a restaurant. We'll do that again. We've got some other events coming up that are going to really surprise some people in the community.
Okay.
We've already held a 3-on-3 at a school system here. We'll do that again.
Mm.
We'll do a major tournament in the summer. We'll do anywhere between 40 and 50 projects a year
Wow.
outside of basketball.
Wow, that is incredible. And it goes to what you guys saying about involving the community. I would love if you guys can share both sides from being a retired military and also being a business owner. What's the advice that you can give someone watching right now that maybe wants to go into the military, maybe wants to be like you guys and be a part of a franchise like the War Dogs? Is there any advice that you give anyone watching right now?
From my standpoint of, I just had this conversation with him about a kid that was talking about going to the army.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really tell people about what branch to go into,
Okay.
but if if you don't have a lot of things going on in your life, it's okay to go in the military.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say it's a lot of stability in the military, and believe it or not, the military not for everybody, but I'm saying for myself, it was building blocks for me when I got out. It's a lot of things that I stood on, my
Yeah.
values, my I'm saying that my leadership.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot of that in the military, which I didn't learn when I was
Yeah.
back home in Gaston, Alabama. So that's why I'm in Huntsville right now. But I love my people from Gaston, Alabama. But hey, but I do love my people from Gaston, Alabama, man. But shout out to them, man. But yeah, I learned a lot. Got a chance to travel. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of traveling. I know in the Navy we travel a lot.
Yeah.
So blessed to see what 6 out of 7 continents while I was in the Navy. It was a blessing. So I got a chance to my vision of the world just open wide open
Yeah.
in the Navy. So
You got to see a lot. That's really, really cool. Anything you'd like to add? Someone watching?
Absolutely. I teach a lot of young people. I've taught a lot of young people and older people that life comes in 4 buckets.
Okay.
And you can't sit around here waiting for something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. Prove to me
Sure.
that you know for a fact you'll be here tomorrow, and I'll tell you, wait.
Mm.
Until then, between the ages of 0 and 20,
Mm-hmm.
learn all you can learn. 21 to 40, earn all you can earn. 41 to 60, learn, earn, and return. If you
Mm.
should be so blessed to live past 60, relax.
That's good.
And I'm very serious about this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at me out there and you really want to do something with your life, don't let anyone tell you you cannot do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you cannot do. If you can conceive it, believe it. And if you believe it, you'll do it.
Ooh,
You'll get it done.
I don't even need to say anything after that. I love that 4 buckets. I'm gonna use that. You need to put your name on it, so I might steal that. Well, look, we'll be right back to hear from some players from the War Dogs. Welcome back. We are here with two players from the War Dawgs and a familiar face, Coach Kerry Johnson. He is the owner of VSI Limited, and he is the Vice President of Basketball Operations of the War Dawgs. Thank you guys for being here. But first, can you two introduce yourself? Where are you from? What's your name? Tell us all the good stuff.
My name is Cameron Tucker. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
I went to Winona High School. I'm a champion. I'm a 2019 champion. Went to a school up the street, Alabama A&M. I'm a graduate at Alabama A&M now, and yeah, played basketball there for 5 years. Was a captain all 5 years. So that's a little bit about myself.
Winona's all right.
I mean,
They're
one
okay.
of the
I remember beating you guys. I remember
remember
beating you guys. Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Tell us about you.
My name's Edivan Figueroa. I'm a military brat, so I mostly went to high school in Germany, and then I actually did a year here at Columbia. Then after that, I actually joined the Air Force myself. I did 3 years there, and then I actually played there too. And then after that, I went to the University of San Francisco. Started off as a manager, and then made my way up to walking on. And then after that, I played 2 years of semi-pro in Puerto Rico, and now I'm here.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
How do you like the South?
It's nice.
Nice.
Weather's similar, Puerto Rico, so I'm used to it.
Yeah. Well, look, let's just talk about, before we talk about the games and all the good stuff, what is the difference that you've seen from playing college versus now in the semi-pro?
Well, the way they run things here, and the way I practice at Alabama A&M, it's pretty similar.
Okay.
We practice more in college, but this is more of a pro lifestyle here.
Right.
We practice probably 2 to 3 times a week, minimum. And yeah, that's pretty much what we do. It's pretty much the same, different drills, but pretty much the same concept, defense, different offensive schemes, different defensive schemes, but pretty much it's just basketball at the end.
You basically have your own ownership of putting in the extra time and all that.
Yeah, you have way more time to like, work on your game. Because in college, you have class, workout, another workout on top of another workout. You got to eat, you got study hall over here, and now you can do what you got to do. Yeah, you have all the time to do your work. You got a job, get a workout plan, get your weights, you get all that in, and then come in to practice and do your job.
And Coach, what have you seen? Because I mean, you have kids that played at all different levels, and you seeing this side as a VP of basketball operations. What's the difference that you see with semi-pro versus college or even overseas?
Well, one of the things that our goal with the War Dawgs was to establish another avenue for young athletes to pursue some of their professional dreams.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to set it up where kind of almost the best of both worlds. We're going to train very hard in terms of the way that they did it in college, but also with the pro aspect of it, where there's a lot more community engagement and involvement with interviews and sponsors and those type of things, and giving the players access and exposure to those situations of being a professional. And so the biggest difference here is accountability. In college, you had people that were accountable for you. As a pro, you're accountable for yourself, and that's the biggest difference that we're trying to get across.
And in specific with the coaching for you guys, what is the difference that you've seen as a player in college? Even you can talk about your experience in Puerto Rico. What's the difference that you guys have seen? Like, is it the coaching harder? Is it more relaxed? Is it as attention to detail? What do you guys feel is the difference?
With me, it's the same pretty much, because our head coach now, Coach Miller, he comes from a college background. He's a former college coach. So for me, it's pretty much the same. He's an intense guy. He's a very detail-oriented guy. So for me, it's pretty much the same. He's not as intense as my last head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows basketball.
Still gets the business done.
Yeah.
What about you? What's the difference you've seen?
Yeah, compared to Puerto Rico, over there, it's more laxed. A lot of emphasis on one-on-one basketball. Obviously, they got structure and stuff like that. But playing for Coach Miller, and over here, he's more of an X's and O's type guy. So I would say that's the difference between over here and over there.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the game in specific. What's the difference? Is the speed faster? Is it the same? Is it more one-on-one, less structure? What do you guys think?
I think on this side, it's more, at every level, it's an adjustment. So this level is more faster, it's more physical. You know, you're not playing against, I'll say teenagers. These are grown men at this level. So it's more, it's not as fast, but it's way more physical, and that's pretty much the difference.
Okay. You have something to add to that? You agree?
Yeah, I would say definitely just the speed of the game for sure. You got more athletes out here, especially out here in America, length, so that makes it a lot tougher. Puerto Rico, we're a little high challenge out there. So there's definitely an adjustment coming out here.
Yeah.
So.
Coach, what about you? What do you see from your perspective is a difference in the game?
I think the biggest difference in the game is the preparation. What it takes to be a pro athlete versus a collegiate athlete. And you know, in college, you're practicing and you're training to get it right. At the pro level, you're practicing, you're training, you're replicating, and you're doing it till you can't get it wrong. And so, you know, pro workouts, if you watch them from a naysayer, pro workouts are boring because it looks like they're doing the same thing over and over and over. But they're paying attention to every single detail. So at the pro level, you're practicing until you can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
At the collegiate level, I'm learning it. I'm trying to practice till I get it right.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. So let's talk about this season. Tell us about the division that you had. We know that you guys are in the ABA, but tell us about the region. Can you break it down for us a little bit? Whoever wants to. Coach, you want to?
Well, this year, the War Dawgs have moved to a different region, South Black, which that region encompasses Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana.
Wow.
So a couple of teams we've played in the past, but a lot of new foes now, a lot of new faces, which can be good or bad. We'll find out.
And how is it for you guys as players with scouting? Is it different like it was in college? Like, do you guys actually watch film of the other teams, or is it you kind of look up the stats before? What does it look like?
As of right now, we don't know what we're getting right now because new teams, different personnel. So we try to base it off of last year, but they might have a whole different team, whole different system. So as of right now, our preparation, we're really worried about us instead of the other team. We're more concerned about what we do, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I noticed. So I went to a game last year. I was most shocked at the score because it was like 100 and something.
Yeah.
So is that normal? Are most games that high scoring, or is it just depend on the night that you come watch?
No, and it's really like the rules. ABA rules are a little different. So you got the 3D rules, right?
3D.
What is that?
Yeah, well, the ABA, if you go back and you look at the history of the ABA, it's always been an innovator. It's, you know, you had the Julius Erving, and they were allowing dunks before the NBA and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so the ABA now is about excitement and wanting to bring fans to the games and the score. So in pursuit of that, they have different rules, and the main one is, as the guys were speaking, is a 3D rule.
Okay.
And the 3D rule basically translates if you turn a team over in the backcourt and score in the backcourt, you get 3 points for that bucket.
Oh.
Okay. So a lot of the teams now would rather press and trap and turn it over and score layups and get a 3.
That makes sense. Okay.
So that attributes to the scoring. Previous game, I think we were at 147.
147.
Oh my gosh.
So that attributes to the scoring.
Wow. I wish I would have known that because I was like, what is happening? It's not normal.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot more sense. Are there any other differences like that in the ABA that is different?
At a specific point of the game, it's going to be a 4-point shot eligible. I think it's going to be farther. It's going to be more like towards half court.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit inside half court line. But it's a deeper 3.
Yeah. You have seen some teams like, or organizations overseas starting the 4-point, which I think it's eventually going to happen. I mean, as the game is changing.
Yeah.
Now, talking about threes, on your team, is that part of your system to getting up threes? Is it what is you guys' identity? What can people expect to watch?
An exciting brand of basketball, really. We
Okay.
play up and down. We play fast. We get up a lot of threes. And we just not getting them up. We actually making them. So
That's a good. That's
yeah,
good.
there's a difference between that. So yeah, we play really great basketball, team basketball. We move the ball well. We just play as a unit. We play as a team.
Okay.
You'll be excited for the energy we give off on the bench, the energy we give off on the court. So it's a pretty exciting brand of basketball.
Okay. What about the height on the team? What does that look like?
We got a big guy. Tallest guy is like 6'11", 6'10".
Okay, yeah.
And he's actually close friends with this guy.
Yeah, my college teammate, EJ Williams.
Okay.
He's the biggest guy on the team, 6'10", 260, 270.
Oh, yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, big guy. So he's the tallest, but we got a lot of length, I wouldn't say we're a very tall team, but we got some height in places.
So, Coach, how can the community support the War Dawgs?
Well, we would love to just have the community come out and watch an exciting brand of basketball. We've got some great halftime entertainment set up for our games. We would just like for the community to come out and introduce themselves and allow the War Dawgs to introduce themselves, the new branded War Dawgs to introduce themselves to our community and support us in any way that they see fit.
And if you're wondering about where to get information, scan that QR code. But before we go, this is called Off the Clock, so I'm going to start with you. What do you like to do when you're not playing basketball or working?
I'm really big into movies. I like going to movies, so that's what I do in my off time.
Just watch movies.
Most recent movies, scary.
Gotcha.
Movies. Yeah.
Specifically scary. Got it. What about you, Coach?
Well,
when you're not playing, but when you're not coaching.
I don't know when that is, but when I do find a moment, I love spending time with my grandkids. That's my pride and joy. So
yeah.
You can almost always find me with one of them somewhere.
You do have a few.
Yes, I do. And a new one.
Yes, you do. Congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
What about you?
Just play the game, really play the game and sleep. Because
That's a good one.
When I'm not doing all those other things, I'm really tired. So
yeah, that makes sense.
The game was sleeping. So.
Yeah, resting is a good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely. Well, again, I appreciate you guys for being here. I know those watching are really excited to watch you guys play. And again, if you missed it, scan that QR code to get the schedule. And we all look forward to seeing you at some War Dawg games this season. Join us next time to see who's off the clock.